Y'all know what's going on. It's time for another episode of Doing Time with Joe. I'm your host, Joe Baker, and welcome to the show, y'all. Look here, check this out now. Listen to me. I need y'all to listen and pay attention to this, right? Because this is where it's going to get thick. This is where it's going to get thick. Now, Gigi has told Mario that she would help him as much as she can, but she was not going to keep any secrets from her mother. Not again. She did not want that wall to become a divider between her and her mother ever again. She loved her mother and she liked the direction that it was going because her mother helped her save that first young love that she had and what she's found in her little boyfriend, right? And it exposed to her, it showed her what Mario's all about. But now he's in a wheelchair. He's in a wheelchair and he's trying to use her to help him keep the gang that he joined and ended up becoming head of together by helping him make sure that he can control the money, keep everybody from, you know what I'm saying, trying to take over. So he tells her he needs her to go here and go there and talk to different people, right? And they're not shocked. Listen to me. They're not shocked. The individuals that Mario deals with, they're not shocked that she's so young. They're not. Because, see, you got a lot of young people in the gang life. It's not the age of the gang member. It's the maturity, as far as gang maturity, of the gang member. You feel me? And he had taught her all of the mannerisms, the lingo. You understand what I'm saying? So she knew how to play her part. And he was specific in what he told her when it came to her going to visit somebody on this particular town, in this particular area, what she had to pick up, what she had to tell them. She never, ever, ever had any drugs or anything like that on her. But she was responsible for the messaging because a lot of the communique between gang members is not done on the phone, no matter what you think, because they tap phones. So a lot of the stuff that needs to be said in person. Handshakes. You feel what I'm saying? In private. And then you line up, you know what I'm saying, the different things that need to be done as far as what needs to be moved here and what needs to be moved there. And see, when you're doing a lot of stuff like that, the feds know. And they watch. They take their time in trying to figure out who's talking to whom and who's shaking whose hand and what's this person for and what connection do they have to this person that they're trying to investigate. They're trying to put that spider web together and figure out who's calling the shots, who's passing the messages, and all those types of things, right? And a new face shows up on the scene, right? See, because the police, the feds know that Mario is in a wheelchair now, so he can't get around. So they're waiting to see who's going to step up and fill that void. And now they're seeing a new face that's showing up at these different spots. And guess what? It's Gigi. It's Gigi. This girl. And see, and Mario told her, look, dress like a 15-year-old would dress, right? Talk like a 15-year-old would talk. Other than when you are with your family. He always emphasized the family. And she would roll her eyes because she really understands what that means now. And it's not a family. Her and her mother are a family. And she would have loved for Mario to be a part of that family, but he's not. But she's returning the favor because he helped her mother when they were in time of need, when she got shot, even though it was his fault. So she's meeting these different people in car shop, auto body shops. She's meeting these different people in barber shops. She's meeting these different people in dark alleys and all this and that. She has people with her that are making sure that she's safe. But she's not telling them what needs to be said. She's only communicating this to the individual that Mario is telling her to talk to. And these messages are getting passed and everything is still moving smoothly and everybody's still eating. But everybody is noticing that, man, Gigi calling the shots. Now she starts to pick up on it. Listen to me. She starts to pick up on when things need to be moved, where things need to be moved, how much needs to be moved. It didn't take long for her to figure out the whole operation. The whole operation. But see, the operation, even though everything is already scheduled and slated to be moved here and there and decisions need to be made, you still have to have somebody to say, do that. You feel me? It's not like a machine. It's not like a machine. It don't work that way because, see, if something were to go wrong, you got to have somebody to say, hold up, don't do that. You feel what I'm saying? You got to make sure that somebody's responsible saying, yeah, all the money got there or it didn't. All the product got there or it didn't. She was that person. And she was making it shake. She was the one that if anybody needed to talk to Mario, they had to talk to her first. And then she would decide what went back to Mario. And when she started to figure that out, she shared it with the one person that she had cut herself off from for years, the one person that loved her the most, her mama. She started to tell her mama in secret how things really worked. And her mama was at first angry because she's 15, about to turn 16 and going to being a senior in high school, and this stuff is taking up her time. How do you do all of this? That's her concern as a mother. And she says, I got it. I just got to go here and go there and all this and that. And once I go there and say this and say that, or do this and do that, or check on this book and check on that book and write this down and look at this, then I just go do me. It's like she gets to be a teenager and a gangster. Because see, you got the mob behind you. You feel me? Like Mario had the mob behind him. You got to think about it as the president of the United States, okay? The president can't do everything. He's got a cabinet. And then he's got the whole military behind him. And that's how Gigi was now. Gigi is running things for Mario at 15, turning 16, and she got the mob behind her. If she goes to tell them to do something, they have already been told to do it. And why would they do that? Why would they be loyal to a 15-year-old about to turn 16, becoming a senior in high school? Because she's making sure that they eat. They don't know the inner workings of the organizations like she does now. She knows how much product coming in. She knows who's going to deliver it. And if anything goes wrong, she can make sure that you get whacked out. She's learning the business. And when she tells her mama that, her mama gets to plotting and planning. She's looking for an exit strategy. She tells Gigi, she said, look, this is our chance to get away from all of this. And at first, Gigi's reluctant to do it because the people that she's meeting and her understanding now of how this lifestyle works at 15, turning 16, she understands how dangerous it could be. But it's one thing that all of these individuals have in common. All of them. They just want to keep eating. They don't care nothing about none. See, crosses are part of the lifestyle, y'all. They'll tell you that it ain't. And the reason that if I'm in charge, I'm going to tell you that crossing is not a part of the lifestyle because I don't need you crossing me. But you can rest assured of one thing. If it calls for it, I'll cross you in a heartbeat. Do you understand what I'm trying to tell you? The lifestyle is twisted. It's twisted. And it's all about who's helping you eat, who's maintaining your power base, and how strong it is. And if somebody threatens that, you put in work, right? When you are ready to leave, you make sure that you have somebody else that can make sure everybody else is still eating. They'll love you for it. And Gigi is making sure everybody's still eating, and they love Mario for it. But see, when Gigi tells her mother Gail, see, Gail got a grown folk mind. Even though Gigi is mature in the ways of the things like that, look here, Gail is mature as a woman. You feel me? And just because she doesn't approve of the lifestyle, she's paid attention over the years to see how things work, right? She might not know these individuals, right? But she knows that type of person. So she's about to try to convince Gigi to make a power move. It's time to make a move. They have to decide if they want to continue to do this or not. That's the choice. They got to make. And at the same time, they got to make sure that they can get away with it. That's the risk that they take. Can you get away with trying to cross Mario out all the way out, right? Without repercussion. One way to do that. You got to find somebody that is just as cutthroat as you and just as ambitious as you, right? See, it's always somebody next in line waiting to take your place when you talk about this lifestyle. There's always somebody waiting in line, right? And Gigi knew exactly who that was. See, Mario had a couple of lieutenants, right? People that, you know what I'm saying, they were just waiting for their time to step up. And they thought they were going to be the ones to step up when Mario got put in that chair. But they were not. And that's because Mario knew that once he turned them on, they'd push him out of the way. They knew why he put, Gigi in charge of stuff. They knew why. He tells them that, things are going to get better. The doctor says I'm going to be walking again. And in the meantime, I'm going to let her do these types of things because I need y'all to do other things. They knew that was bull. They knew that was bull, but they went along with it because that's how the game is. You buy your time. You put in work and you wait for your turn. And if you get tired of waiting for your turn, you shoot your shot. But if you miss, understand what the consequences of that mean. But see, right now, they were not worried about that. If they could figure out how to get the information from Gigi without Gigi turning on them and putting the mob on them, they would do it. But see, this one lieutenant that she knew, because he had 2 or 3, that she knew would know exactly how to make this thing work. She stepped to him and she told him. She said, look, me and my mom want to leave. We want to get away from this. And he's listening, right? But he also knows that this could be a test. He's listening. And she told him, she said, look, I'll hand it all over to you. But when I do, you got to make sure that Mario can't do anything to us. He won't know anything, won't know where we're at or anything. The only person that will know where we're at is you. But you have to convince everybody else to follow you. Yeah, take care of him, but push him to the side. He can't do anything anymore. So the lieutenant, he's listening to her. He's sucking it all up. And he said, how do I know this is real? How do I know you're not trying to cross me? And she said, I'm going to meet with you later. I'm going to bring my mom over here. He said, your mom coming over here? And she was like, yeah. Because he couldn't come to the house because Mario was at the house. And he made it plain he didn't want anybody to see him like that. So Gail met Gigi at the spot. And all 3 of them got together and they were talking. And they made the decision that they would hand it all off to him. And he was going to let them walk away with a lot of money. And he was going to make sure that he continued to send them money every month. Now, they knew that eventually he would stop. They didn't care. They were going to take enough money up front so they can get set up. And she was going to sell the house. And Mario was going to be on his own. It's the nature of the game. Who cares? They had done enough for him and he had ruined their lives. Almost to the point of no return. But the game is crossing. Everybody gets crossed. And now it's time for Mario to get crossed. He had used everybody. He had used everybody for years and now it was his turn. So Gigi slowly went around and was introducing him to everybody. And telling them, look, he's going to take over. And he assured them that he would be able to make sure that they would continue to make the type of money they were making. They just needed to continue to supply him with the product and all this and that. And they understood how the game went. They understood how the game went. They didn't care anything about Mario. They just wanted to continue to eat. And all of the people, all the plugs told him, we're going to give you one shot to see how this goes. And if you can maintain what you're talking about maintaining for the next 2 months, you got a deal. And if not, they're going to get rid of him, y'all. They're going to get rid of him. So the time comes and they give him a shot. And he didn't only keep up his end of the bargain, he made them more money in that first month than Mario had ever made him. And then the second month it went up even higher. So they locked everything in with him. And one day Mario called to check with him. No answer, no answer, no answer, no answer. Right? And one day when Mario was at the hospital, at the doctor's office with one of his doctor visits, and Gail had him there, Gigi packed up everything. They got everything packed up and ready to go. When Gail drove back to the house, she wanted this moment. When they pulled up at the house, they had already put a for sale sign in the front yard. And he sees the for sale sign, right? And he said, what's up with the for sale sign? She doesn't say anything. She gets out of the van and she wheels him down off the ramp and she sets him right there in the driveway, the parking lot, of the driveway of the house. She just sets him there. She doesn't even push him up the ramp onto the porch into the house. She tells him, she says, as she's walking towards the car where Gigi is waiting, and she tells him, she says, the locks have been changed. It's over. She walks. She gets in the car, backs out. Mario spins around in the wheelchair and he looks at him. He says, you just gonna leave me right here like this? Like, just shocked, not really believing that this was really happening. She pulled out past him, waved at him, shot him the bird, got on the street, and they pulled off. And that was the end of it. And they were gone. And the game had pushed Mario to the side, like it'll do you. Listen to me. If you're involved in this lifestyle, quit while you're ahead. Make amends for all the pain that you've caused people. Turn your life around. It's not worth it. Trust me on that. This has been another episode of Doing Time with Joe. I'm your host, Joe Baker, and I say peace, y'all.